want to talk to the black men, the deadbeats, the one who made a promise.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Talk to the black men, the deadbeats, the one who made a promise to themselves when they were very young. If I ever bring children into this world, I'll never do to them what my father done to me. Because you watched your mama struggle to make ends meet and take care of you and your sibling. You watched your mama hustle to keep food on the table and a roof over your head. You watched your mama spread herself thin. And you made a promise to yourself, I'll never do that to my kids. And what you did is you created the same exact cycle. It became a sense of normalcy. Going to my next point, it's a fear. There's a fear of responsibility when it comes to you as a man because you never seen a man do it. So you leave that child to a woman because you know that the woman is responsible because your mama was the responsible woman that took care of you. You don't know how to process your trauma and your emotions, homie. And then every man you know, they emotionally scarred. They emotionally unavailable. So what do? They avoid anything that has to do with them being a man when it comes to being consistent, when it comes to communication, when it comes to fighting through, even when it get tough. The only thing they know to do is just walk away. And then here go the kicker. A lot of you deadbeats spend the most unnecessary time and effort doing all other things. Tricking, chasing women, taking care of children that ain't yours just so you can get closer to the woman to get some cat. You don't know what your child needs. You don't know what your child going through. But you don't realize how much time in a day you put all of this time and effort into other things. You go out every weekend. You spend money on clothes, never trying to send your kids money because you have the excuse of, man, bro, she won't let me talk to my kids. She won't let me do this. She won't me do that. And still, what you don't understand is, bro, you just a deadbeat.
So I follow him on TikTok, and everything that he said was 100% facts. It was straight fire, nothing but the truth. And he made a lot of valid points. And myself, being a product of a single parent home, which I was raised by my mom. My mom was a teen mom, and I had 2 younger siblings. So my mom, raised the 3 of us by herself. She had never been married. Then I myself followed in those same footsteps and gave birth to 3 children today. So I've been a single parent for 19 years now, and I've never been married. That's another generational curse. So like I said, he made a lot of valid points in his video. Now, one of the reasons why I go so hard to sharing the fact that so-called black people are the biblical Israelites of the Bible is because the reason why we are in the position that we're in today is because our ancestors were in a covenant with the Most High, and they did not obey his laws, statutes, and his commandments. So as a result of us being his chosen children and chosen people, by us not keeping that covenant and disobeying all of his commands, he allowed us to be enslaved in several captivities. So people don't understand. A lot of black people do not understand who we are. A lot of them are not receptive to the ideal because we've lost our identity for so long that a lot of black people are not even interested in knowing who we are. A lot of them are dismissive to the fact of who we are. It's just so many reasons that I could elaborate on, but we are the biblical Israelites of the Bible, and we are still up under this perpetual covenant. It's a binding perpetual covenant that our ancestors made with Yahuwah when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. So if you go to the book of Deuteronomy, there are some curses in the book of Deuteronomy starting at chapter 28, and the curses are very, very long. And like I've stated in several of my other videos, these curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28 do not fit any other people except the so-called African American people. They don't fit those people over there in that created state of Israel. But anywho, that's a video for another day. But to make a long story short, we are in fact the people, and we're still in covenant, with Yahuwah that our ancestors made. And as a result of that, by us still not repenting and coming out of sin and coming out of rebellion, we are still living in the manifestations of these curses still unto this day. All you gotta do is just go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and start reading those curses, and you will see that they don't fit any other group of people except the so-called Negro. So with that being said, if you go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, I believe it's verse 30, there is a verse and it says, you will be married to a woman and another man shall RAPE her. So we know that our black women were RAPED in slavery. You know, they didn't acknowledge our marriages. You know, they could just RAPE us whenever they wanted to, whenever they got good and ready, because we were considered as property. And you know, a woman's husband, he couldn't say or do anything about it. And so that curse surely did come to pass. I mean, it's not refutable. Like, it's no debate. Like, we know that did happen. And so with that being said, one of the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28 is our black men not being in the homes. And we are the most predominant race of people where the father is predominantly more absent in the black family home. Like, no other race of people has more absent fathers in the home than black women. Now, that was by specific design. If you go to the book of Psalms, there is a scripture in there that says, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel shall be no more in remembrance. And so what you had is a conglomeration of nations who came together to conspire against God's chosen people. And one of the reasons that they conspire against us is out of jealousy. They were jealous. All of these other nations that conspired against Israel, and I'm talking about the nation of Israel, the people Israel, the black people, not the created state of Israel that was created in May 1948. That is a whole nother video, but not those imposters, but I mean the true Israelites, which happens to look like me and have, you know, hair like mine. But anywho, these nations conspire against us to cut us off from being a nation that we would no more remember ourselves. And that's another curse. We don't remember who we are as a people. And even when you try to tell our people today who we are, they still stuck in Christianity. They still stuck on Jesus. They still stuck on white Jesus. Some of our people are in New Age. Some of our people are in some of our people are Muslims. Like, we just scatter everywhere. And what y'all fail to realize is that these very same reasons, these very same sins are the reasons why we're in the conditions that we're in today. These are the very same reasons that the Most High let us go into captivity in the first place. But if you refer to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 30, you will see that it states that another man, you will be married to your wife and another man shall RAPE her. And it says that you will not live in the houses. Matter of fact, it said you will build houses, but you will not live in them. What other people, our black men, built this nation? We all know that America would not be in the position that it's in today if it was not for the free labor. If it were not for the free labor that was built on the back of slaves. And we all know it. America would not be this great nation that it claims to be if it was not for the free slave labor that our ancestors toiled and built brick by brick and were whooped and beaten and killed. We built this nation. So as you can see, in a lot of our black families, a lot of the black men are not in the homes. We built the homes, you know, but a lot of our black men are not in the homes. Well, why do you think that is? That's another one of those generational curses from the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28. So I just wanted to point out some of these things to you because he made several valid points. And you know, if you have an ear to hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying, then you will be able to relate you know, everything that he said in this video and apply the scriptures that I'm going to share in this video with everything that he said, and you will see. I mean, the scriptures speak for itself. But awesome job, Young King. Like, he spoke nothing but fire and nothing but facts. So shalom, Israel.